Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome folks, today the Hungry Gamer is doing another unboxing, this time of Sandy Peterson's Glorantha, The God's War. And my buddy Streamline Matt has been waiting 2 years for this to finally arrive, and it is massive. And I'll point out that he only got about 60% of the things that were available. As you can see, there is a ton here. So let's go ahead and bust into it and see what this is all about. So we will start with the scenery and the buildings. Let me clear out this other 30 pounds of box. Alright, so here we have the scenery, and let's take a look inside. And oh my, we have a lot of plastic in here. That is ridiculous. Now, you can't tell, this is probably a good 3 or 4 pounds of scenery. But let's take a look at some of it. And if you hear a scream in the back, that's Streamline freaking out as I dump this out. Oh, well, look at that. I sliced this open. It was a Ziploc bag, so that's amazing. You're welcome, Streamline. You can appreciate rebagging that in something else. But so we take a look here. We have, looks like a bunch of altars. They're actually quite cool. And currently, Streamline's dogs are chasing the ones that fell on the ground. There is actually quite a lot of detail in these. Actually, very, very cool. Great, let's get into the actual game boxes themselves, and I'll just clear all this out of the way. And you can see making a guest hand appearance, we have Streamline right there. And now we're going to go into the Empires expansion. Yes, this is an expansion, and you can hear the strain in my voice. I can actually barely hold this thing up. It is just massive. And I've promised him I'm not going to cut any more of his storage solutions for this game. We'll see if we can keep that promise. This is officially the hardest box in the history of the world to open. Alright, let's take a look. Oh good, we have what feels like the biggest board in the history of gaming here. And so here we have the double-sided board. And I will point out that this is just one of 2. So I hope you have a very big table if you're going to play this. And here we have the other one. And apparently it looks like you use different boards for your number of players. As Matt was kind enough to point out, you can see 6 players, so it does look like you only use one of the boards. So unfortunately, board game tables will not be getting a big hit on sales anytime soon. And here we have our lovely tokens. We have cards here, and it's a nice thick cardboard. And we have a whole bunch more tokens. And oh, this is lovely. In this game, instead of just killing each other, apparently you get married. That's nice. A game about love and killing each other. Very delightful. And now we have, looks like, player boards. Again, very thick cardboard. Ooh, with some very cool art on the back. And we have a whole mess of these. Oh, that's very, very clever. You have the invisible god. And, oh look, you can't see him, but I promise he's actually there. And, again, some more tokens, cards to punch out. And now we get into the second half of the box, which is the miniatures. And again, this is the hardest box to get into that I have ever messed with. And inside, and we have the most ridiculously sized miniature I have ever come across before. This is insane. If you are someone who is into miniatures, these are really cool and they are really big. Possibly you will need to buy a new house to store them in. But they are super cool. And that is the Empires expansion. And now let's dive our way into the actual game itself. All right. And if you're thinking this looks like a very big box, it is. It's probably about 60–70% the size of the Gloomhaven box. Though, of course, the Gloomhaven box contains all of it. And as I said, Matt only got one of the 3 expansions, so it's a lot of space this takes up. And hopefully this box will open a little easier. And no such luck. And so inside we have, looks like our main player boards. And you can see down at the bottom, this is what you use for a 3-player game. And then again, the other side, these are nice, good quality player boards. And here's another one, though I'll point out this is also says for 3 players. So again, it's a lot of table space here. All right, and also move back, see what else we have inside here. And you have your lovely player aids with, again, some pretty cool art on the reverse side. Oh, and that's cool. They're all different. No. So some of them have some different art, different information. But again, pretty cool. Some nice attention to detail with the background on those cards. And some more punch outs. Looks like an island there. And your score tracker. Again, with some cool art on the back. And more cardboard to punch out. Again, these are just very nice, thick cardboard stock. And I laugh, folks, because this rule book is so thick. This is like a academic journal is how thick this thing is. But inside, lots of art, lots of pictures. So it's actually quite lovely. But you're going to have to put aside an evening to read through this thing. And looks like we have more player boards here. Again, just like in the other one, it's nice art, good thick cardboard. And here are the others. And more things to punch out. As you can see, differentiated 3 to 5 players and 6 to 8 players. And more tokens. As you can hear in the background, one of the dogs here is very distressed about the amount of tokens in this game. And here's another one, and you'll see that the Postal Service was nice enough to shake it around enough to punch a couple out for us, so that's very kind and generous of them. And a bunch of D6s, very exciting, very standard. And then we have what you're really here for, the other ridiculously sized miniatures. Again, this is just insane how big these things are. But you can see, again, it's got some nice detail on them. Very sturdy. I don't know what those are made out of. Almost feels like a rubber instead of just a plastic. I'm sure they're not. I'm looking over at Streamline. He's judging me for calling it rubber, but you get the idea. And here we have our small servants. Let's see, little archers there. And creepy demon monster things. And just another punch out token. And again, more miniatures, more monsters. It would only be fitting if I make a mess by dumping all of these out. So I think I'll do that now. And we'll take a look. And in what feels like it doesn't belong in this game, we have these very tiny little tokens. But they're nice, plastic instead of cardboard, so that's a nice little touch. And that is almost everything in here. Again, we have more minis, and we have one tiny little deck of cards. And let's take a look and see what those look like, because this is the first bit of cards in the entire game so far. And here we go. All right, and various elements. Chaos, hell, luck. Oh, look at that. Truth. The truth is that this game is huge, it's massive, and I've never seen anything with more ridiculously sized components than this game. But all in all, these are nice quality cards. Nothing special, but they're certainly not cheap cards. There you have it, folks. That is about 60% of what you can get with Glorantha, The Gods War by Sandy Peterson. If you enjoyed this unboxing, go ahead and like the video and subscribe, because we'll certainly have more of these coming your way to go along with our usual Kickstarter previews and our reviews of existing games. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.